Good morning. Welcome to church. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. You can get involved by going to our chat line on YouTube, and whatever questions or comments you may have, I can respond to them as it is happening. And good morning to everybody here, and happy Mother's Day to everybody. Morning. Morning. All right. Happy Mother's Day. We having the mothers here? All right. Happy Mother's Day. All right. We're going to get into that today. I think what a mother, the personality of a mother, how a mother should be. And we're going to discuss that. Happy Mother's Day, Joel. Anyway, any questions or comments? Anybody had anything you need to ask me, or anything happened this week that made your life great or made it bad or anything? Yes, ma'am. I'm glad someone brought something. You need to stand up with the mic, sir. Hey, can you stand up with the mic so you can go to them?
Yes. Okay. Good morning, everyone. And thank God that we're all here.
Hey, are you a mother?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm an auntie. Haha.
You're an auntie?
Okay.
That don't count.
Okay.
We don't have Auntie Day.
Okay. Okay. All right. So today, I thank God that I completed my 21-day water fast.
Wow.
I did.
You ever had water? Tell them to be quiet out there. You ever had water in 21 days?
No, I only water. Uh-huh.
Oh, you only had water?
Yeah.
And no food?
Yeah, no food. A couple of broths a couple of days, but no food.
Really?
Uh-huh. And I did that to try to get rid of my high sugar. And so when I tested it this morning, unfortunately told me that by the little test that I did, it wasn't successful. So I'm not going to stop trying. I'm trying various things, but for 21 days, I haven't eaten anything, just drink water only. And so it's a...
Are you hungry?
No, after about...
I think we got some cookies out there.
No, after about the third day, you lose the, desire for hunger, and you can go 30 to 40 days. And so I was just thinking, although I went 21 days, I'm thinking, wait a minute, maybe I'll just stay off one day and start again tomorrow. So anyway, so for the purpose that I went onto it, I think about 90% of the people or more, should be able to get, high results with this. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, you know what, maybe you didn't pray right. Maybe your intentions going in was wrong. Instead of to seek God, you're going in to seek, healing, and so maybe I should have sought God. So anyway, I'm probably going to do it again, because I quite frankly, like feeling good. And when your sugar is down, when you're fasting, you feel great.
But it didn't go down.
Pardon me?
It did not go down, right?
No, it went down. It went down significantly. But when I ate fruit, because I was listening to somebody say the way you test it is to just eat some fruit because it's sweet and sugary. And so I tested it, and actually then I tasted some of the pastries too, and so I had sugar and... So I maybe overdid it, so I'm going to wait overnight and see what happens.
Who told you that you should fast in order to get your blood sugar down?
It was just things that I've read. And,
you read it where?
Online somewhere.
Hermes, what's going on? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Somebody in the hallway out there. In the lobby area. Go ahead. Yeah,
online somewhere. And also, there, a couple of doctors, like I've listened to on YouTube, they, advocate intermittent fasting, which could be like just having one meal a day or maybe skip a day or something like that, whatever they're doing. And anyway, so
Are you under a doctor's care for your blood pressure?
I don't have high blood pressure. It's high sugar.
It's low blood pressure?
No, just regular.
I'm sorry, sugar. Are you under doctor care for that?
No.
Have you seen a doctor for it?
Yeah, I was, but they were pushing the drugs, and it seemed like the drugs, actually the drugs were what made my sugar go higher than it was. And so that's their treatment, though, and so they don't have anything else for you, so I just sort of segued out of their system a little bit and tried things on my own.
I don't know if that's safe or not. I don't know if you should fast to get sugar down. That's a pretty serious thing. And now you're going to do it again, because I don't ever remember anywhere in the Bible or anywhere like that where you should fast to get your sugar down.
Is sugar in the Bible at all?
No, but they had syrup.
Pardon?
No.
Oh, well, Jesus said that there are some things that comes out only by
Did
fasting
Jesus
and praying.
eat sugar?
Pardon me?
Did Jesus? What? Honey. Yeah, they ate honey in those days.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I did it,
I
and I'm
don't know
still
if you
alive.
should do that, though. I'm not sure. It just doesn't sound right to me.
Oh,
and now
really?
you're about to do it again.
Well, maybe I didn't do it long. Maybe I should have gone the whole 30 days uninterrupted. So that's what I'm thinking.
No.
Well, Jesus did it for 40 days. Well, the only thing I would say, if somebody's going to fast like that, like when on water fasting, everything I've read, people say you shouldn't take anything. But I would say to get some liquid minerals and put that in your water while you're fasting, especially if you're diabetic. I would not go without the minerals. Because your body, according to what I've read also by a doctor, your body can do without vitamins, but your body can't do without minerals. And since
That kind of stuff scare me. Why don't you just eat right, get over the anger stuff and just eat right and do it that way rather than not eating at all.
Get over the anger stuff?
Yeah, and just so you feel better, and then the blood pressure will come back. I mean, the sugar will work itself out.
Okay. I thought I'd gotten rid of the anger.
No, you may have, I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if you should not at least see a doctor for. Oh, you say you saw one, right?
Yes, and so their treatments.
Well, they want to give you pills.
Yeah, and that's what the pharmaceutical companies tell them. They dictate their treatment, but the treatment is not working for me. Yeah, as a matter of fact, their treatment made me worse. So.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone who fasted for 40 days.
Oh, really?
You say Jesus did it 40 days, right?
Wasn't it 40 days? I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm. And so someone else did that, and as a result, they had a stroke. And I think they maybe have had a mild heart attack or so, but they had a stroke and they have not recovered yet, and that's been years.
Okay, so I don't think you can blame that on the stroke. That's why I said that. I don't think you can blame that on the fast. That's why I said that it's better to get some liquid minerals, although a lot of sites that you go to reading about water fast, they say don't take any supplements, don't do anything but drink water. However, the water supply is not clean, and also, I would do the minerals just because your body may not have stocked up on minerals with the food that you're eating because the food supply is also deficient in minerals.
Have mercy. It's a lot for me.
What?
This is a lot for me to hear this because I'm concerned about your health.
Oh, I am too. That's why I fasted.
I know, but I've never seen anywhere where you should fast to get well.
Really?
I see where you lay hands on a person and heal them, but
well, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
This young lady has some advice for you, I believe.
I'm a hospice nurse, and fasting that long, after a certain amount of time when you're fasting, your body starts to shut down because it has to have food. At first it's eating off of itself after a certain amount of days to get, because it thinks you're starving it, so to get the energy and stuff that you need. But after a certain amount of time, it's going to start shutting down. It's not safe. And then as soon as you put something in your mouth, your sugar is going to go up. So it's like fasting, for like 7 days maybe, but again, as soon as you eat, your sugar's going to
Speaking to the
rise, or your sugar is going to rise, so you would have to fast all your life. So it's better, like he said, to eat correctly.
Right.
To bring your sugar down than to fast for long periods of time. 7 days is fine, but for long periods like that is very dangerous.
I agree. At one point, I was able to do it, especially before I started taking medication. But then it got so I couldn't even eat salads or even drink green juice. It would take me about, whereas if I drink green juice by itself and nothing else that day, I'd be able to have my sugar down within normal levels by that evening if I would drink it in the morning. And so after I started taking the medication, it got to the point where it would take me 3 or 4 days to get my sugar down to a normal level. So it was like, what am I going to do? I have to fast. So I started thinking about what I'm going to do to get it down. And so this time when I started the fast, it actually took me 4 days to get my sugar within normal levels. So since it took that long to get it down, actually, I would say that my body really wasn't fasting the way I wanted it to for 18 days, for maybe instead of 21 days, I actually did about 17 days, because it took so long to get it down.
So who told you to fast? You said you heard it out there somewhere in the world?
Oh, no, I read about it. You start reading stuff when you start getting desperate and you don't have anywhere to go.
Desperate is the word.
Yeah.
Let me just say, what I've discovered, everybody and their mama got some kind of product out there to sell now about how to eat, what to drink, how not to drink, and drink green, yellow, and all that stuff. I think a lot of this stuff is just product pushing. I think people just taking folks in their desperation and using them to make money. Because what I noticed is that you should see at my house. I used to listen to all this stuff, and I bought all these vitamins. I got so many vitamin bottles. I was looking at those things today, and I was thinking, wow, I'm surprised I'm still alive taking all this mess. And when I was taking the vitamins and all that, nothing changed. And then I used to drink this protein drink stuff because they said drink the protein, right? And every time I drink the product, my belly would swell up. It was bloated. And so I started looking around. I was like, what am I doing? And so I cut it all out, and that's when life got better. My belly don't bloat anymore. I'm doing just fine. I'm eating. I try to eat right for sure, like what she was saying, but it's like you got to take control of your own life and see what's best for you. Because these people that's recommending and all this stuff, they're just trying to, not all of them, of course, but they're trying to sell products. They're trying to sell books. They're trying to sell. And people are desperate now. They don't think for themselves. They're always looking for an expert to tell them.
Well,
so I'm concerned about your sugar. Because you could go blind and all that with that kind of problem, right?
Well, of course. And
you don't want to lose a leg.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Can you lose a leg if you have a sugar problem?
Diabetics lose stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason they lose stuff like that is because...
I'm sorry?
Wait, there's one guy, he wrote a book, and he's on YouTube. It's called Death to Diabetes. As a matter of fact, I have his book. I haven't read the whole thing. But he has proven that you do not have to submit to any amputations with diabetes.
But everybody proving something.
Well, what I'm saying is follow his example instead of going to the doctor and let him cut off your leg when somebody has shown you that you don't need to get it cut off. So what you do is eat something to alkalize your body, your blood, and your limb will start.
Why don't you just have a nice steak dinner and call it a day?
Maybe I should.
Steak is good for you.
Maybe I should. Okay.
All right, but be careful, though.
All right, thank you.
It sounds pretty serious. You want to say something about that?
Yeah.
The nurse is going to tell you.
There is a program on the computer, if you look it up, it's called the Diabetic Free Diet. And look that up, and it has a lot of things in there that's really good to keep your sugar low.
Why don't you just plant a garden and eat some greens and cornbread and cabbage and ham hocks?
That sounds very good. Okay, I'll say this and then I'll go to
We
my...
grew up on it. We're still doing quite well.
I'll say this and I'll let somebody else have it. Okay, so in addition to like the high sugar, it's not only the high sugar, the problem is insulin resistance, and Western medicine does not address that cause. They address the symptom, which is the high sugar. And so I also may have another issue, which may be a liver issue, which may be causing the problem.
You may have a liver and you're not eating?
Well, I ate something this morning, so I'm back to eating right now.
You live by yourself?
I don't give out that information.
You should get one of those little button things that says, help, I'm falling. What do you call that? Just in case. Yes, James, somebody online has something for me.
Yeah, I have a comment and a few questions. One is Andrea says, if you eat carbs like quinoa and lentils and beans and lots of fat, veggies, and protein, your health will take care of itself. And then there is a couple of questions about Mother's Day and desires and stuff.
Desires? Oh, okay. Let me just, before you ask that, let me
Yeah.
just say this young lady and then Ed, and then we'll move away from there.
Okay.
But and then you're thinking about fasting another 30 days, right?
I was just going to do another 9 to take it up.
Let her have them. Let her have them, Mike. You gonna do what?
Okay, so today is the 21st day. So I was thinking, I said, maybe I stopped too soon. Maybe I should have gone the whole 30 days.
But
maybe.
Satan is talking to you. He's like, the 9 days didn't work. Do 30 days. And never mind your liver.
Okay.
Isn't the liver thing like a serious thing?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, it's recommended that if everything else fails, fast for the liver. And one book says, but don't do it over 10 days. And that way it's supposed to give a liver the. I don't know what the problem is. I'm just using the shotgun approach, trying everything until I hit on something that's working.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mary,
So-
you can't help her? Yes. Let me take the lady behind her first. She's been waiting a while there.
Okay, so bottom line is that the Bible says these signs will follow them that believe. They will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. After the service today, I will lay my hands on today and you will recover. You know, and all these kinds of things that the world teaches, and yes, supplements can be good and all that stuff. And I was like, there can be a stronghold, you know, because I know I used to go to that extreme, just like Jesse was saying about I had all these bottles on my counter. I'm like, all these supplements, and then, but it becomes a stronghold. But what
Yeah.
did God say? He said, this is what happens. Will lay their hands on the sick and they will recover. It's a done deal. And you know what happens? Because I have laid my hands on other people before and they did recover. And it's for everybody, all of us believers. Are we believers? Are we not believers? You know, that's what it all boils down to.
Do you
I laid my
exercise?
hands on myself. I laid my hands
Let me
on
do
my
this
kid.
because of time. Before I have to come down there and lay
Yes, so,
hands on
but
you.
basically that's what it all boils down to. And what happens is
But-
then God will give you wisdom what to do. You know? So that's how it works, okay?
Also, Miriam is a yoga instructor, right, Miriam? You're a yoga instructor, right? See her. Do you exercise?
Basically, I walk. Okay. Mostly I walk. I'm going to segue into going back to the gym. You know,
Okay,
taking
well,
classes.
Marilyn is an excellent yoga health instructor. Talk to her after the meeting.
Okay.
Because we don't want to lose you.
Okay.
You got the kidney and the sugar going on here. We want to help you, all right? So talk to Marilyn.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Ed, you have one last comment about this.
Well, I did have a comment about this. It just hit me that everybody's talking about fasting. What I've been doing for the last several weeks is slowing instead of fasting. I mean, I've been slowing everything down, and it's amazing how effective that is in life.
Yeah.
One of the things, I was always very, very reactive kind of person, and when I was most successful, I was most reactive. Guess
Yeah.
what? Things were not going well. Didn't know it, right? You can be very one-dimensional, and you can look at your success as one dimension, but things don't really work. And there have been some horrific stresses that I've dealt with in the last few weeks, but I'm not as subject to them. And it's a nice thing to feel.
Yeah.
But slowing down, taking a look at things, not reacting, giving yourself the time. I mean,
Yeah.
dumb stuff like sleeping. You know, make sure you're going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, just kind of,
You don't.
you know,
Everything's all about fasting. I kind of like slowing.
there is a time to fast, but you have to be wise with it, you know. And I'm not sure, maybe it works, I don't know. I'm not sure if fasting to get healed works or not, you know, because someone said you need to see it for yourself so you know for sure. But I do recommend you eat something.
Oh, I'm back to eating now.
You like chicken? I think all black people like chicken, right? Eat some chicken.
I prefer fish, and I also eat rice and beans a lot. So
Yeah.
once you start eating beans and stuff, that kind of takes the place of meat, and I don't really have a desire for it. So I usually eat rice, beans, quinoa, all that type of stuff,
okay.
and vegetables.
Okay. Well, take it easy. I'm not a doctor, so I can't give you medical advice, but I'm concerned about that. So be careful. You know, I grew up on beans, right? If you didn't have anything else, you had beans. And then lately, someone been telling me, oh, beans are not good for you. I'm like, are you crazy? I grew up on beans. I ate beans all my life. And all of a sudden, beans are not good. Isn't that something? All right, James, hit it.
Sarah is asking, are my wants actually the devil speaking to me? If I want a husband, or I want a husband, is this the devil telling me I want this?
Yes.
Whoa.
Because what's happening is, inside all those who have not been raised with a good father, men and women who are not close to their father, one with their fathers, it leaves a void in your life. Deep down in your soul, there's like an emptiness. It's like the soul is yearning for the Father. It want to return to the Father. And so Satan understands that. He doesn't want you to return to the Father. So what he does, he tell you, oh, you need a husband, or you need love, or you need a car, or you need something else, right? And what you're yearning for is the love of a father. And so it's not a husband, because what happened is women go out and they get these husbands, and these husbands are no good. They don't really overcome that emptiness they have. And so they end up with a crazy man doing crazy things, thinking that it's going to work. So no, you're not yearning for a husband. You're yearning for the Father. That's what it is, 100%. And Satan's playing on you. So, work out your relationship with your Father. And then the beauty about life, it's like what Ed was saying, it slows you down, and then God add everything unto you. It'll be added unto you. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all things will be added. We're not yearning for a car or a husband or a wife. I used to think that before he took away my void and returned me to my Father, I thought that I wanted a wife. And I used to pray to God, because the preacher said, ask God what you want. If you want a wife, ask the Lord. And I'll be like, oh, Lord, please give me a wife. I really asked, and every time he would give me a woman, I could not handle her. She was so mean, and I was so weak. And so finally, I just said, you know what, God? Forget it. I don't want no wife. Well, I want one if you give it to me. But once that void is fulfilled, you don't feel like anything is missing, so you don't want for anything. Because that emptiness is not there, and Satan can't play on your mind because you have returned to the Father. It's so nice. And now, because I grew up thinking that I was going to be married, I wanted 10 kids. And I knew I was going to have 10 kids. But it didn't work out that way, because once that void was fulfilled, I feel like I have everything that I want. Nothing is missing. Yes?
I have a follow-up. Sarah responds, but I'm so close to my Father.
Then something that's got in that void has her yearning for something, because it's abnormal to want a husband. Really. Because if you love God, you love your earthly father, you don't have any anger toward your mother, and this is Mother's Day. If you don't have any anger, you don't have any yearning for anything. You don't have any wants. All your needs are met. So you need to look and see what's missing. Maybe you have some anger towards someone, or something is missing. And you need to find out what that is. If you want counseling, you can call me. That means call, right? And we can counsel with you, and I can find out what's going on.
Do you have a follow-up to this question? Okay, because I have a separate question about mothers.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Linda's asking, what is my role as a mother?
Oh, good. That's an excellent question. And then, Bible go to God, I want you to turn to Proverbs, because you don't have your Bible right there.
I do, but no, I don't.
You didn't bring your Bible?
I left it.
Did you bring your cell phone?
It's upstairs.
All right. Turn to Proverbs 10:10. No, not 10. Yeah, 10:10. Proverb, 31, 10:10. Just be ready for it. I'm not ready yet, but just hold it for me. Are you a mother?
Yes.
I'm gonna let this mother tell you, then I add unto it.
Are you gonna let me tell you?
Yes. This your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, what's your name?
Timmy.
I'm sorry?
Timmy.
Timmy?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
I'm Joelle's mom.
Oh, really? Wow. Are you black?
I'm Creole.
Oh, I didn't know you had a white mama. Oh man, wow. You know, it crossed my mind that you might be his mother, but you look kind of young too, and so I didn't want to embarrass you. I could ask you that your mother. Wow.
Well, thank you for saying I look young.
Yeah.
I'm not so young, but thanks for saying I look young.
So, what's the role of a mother?
To love and nurture their children, to
Speak
raise
into the
them
microphone.
to raise them to be independent and to be able to take care of their families as well as others around them.
When you say nurture, how does a mother nurture a child or children?
By loving them and teaching them, you know. Nurturing them, by loving them, feeding them, teaching them.
And how do you teach them?
By example,
By being an example.
by being an example,
Oh,
yes.
okay. And so that's what nurturing means?
I suppose.
When you say love them, how do you love them?
I don't understand the question.
You said a mother's role is to love them as
It's
well,
to
right?
love them and show them love and affection and, yeah, love and affection.
And does that ever end?
Never ends.
It never ends.
Love,
Even
yeah,
when they're
mother's
grown.
love is unconditional and never ends.
And you still show affection and all that?
Yes.
Oh,
Even sometimes when they don't want affection,
you give it to them anyway?
you give it to them anyway.
Okay.
Like this one.
Huh?
Like this one.
Yeah.
He's too grown for affection
He is?
from
Oh,
his
good.
mother. Yeah.
How you feel about that?
Sometimes I try to give him that space so he can feel like a man, that his mother isn't loving and hugging on him all the time. But then sometimes, you know, I think he needs it and the mom needs it as well.
So why do you think he needs it?
So to teach him how to love others as well, because showing affection teaches you affection.
That is so interesting to me. Isn't that like interesting? Why do you think that works? Excuse me.
Why do I think that it works?
Does it work?
It does work. You know, you can't show affection if you don't know affection. If you never learned to be affectionate, how can you be affectionate to other people?
And so that's why mothers are that way with the
And the
children,
mothers are
because they try
very
to show
affectionate.
them how to be affectionate.
And how to love, yes.
Really? But have you noticed that boys who have gotten all that grow up to be weak, desperate men?
Well, it just depends on how much love and affection the mother is giving them, and there's a limit.
But you said it never stops.
Well, it never stops, but you do it, you space it out. You know, I don't know how to say it, but I meant,
You space it
you know,
out.
I don't sit here and hug and kiss on him all day, every day. But he knows, and I show him that love is always there, though I'm not hugging and kissing on him all the time. He knows that love is there. And it's important, especially as a man, to know how to love, because how can he love his wife and treat his wife with affection if he didn't learn that from his mother?
Amazing. And where did you learn to love?
From my family, you know.
From your mother?
From my mother.
Your mother gave you that kind of love?
Yes,
And did you like it
I did.
all the time?
We're not really as affectionate
You and
and
your mother?
huggy and lovey, and my dad, because I grew up with my dad in the family.
Oh, okay.
You know, we never had to show it because we always knew, because it was always shown to us how much they love us without being so affectionate
Right.
and saying,
And did
I
you
love
like
you all
that?
the time. It was okay, but, you know, sometimes you need that I love you. So
Why?
I tried to show it to my sons more and my daughter more than what it was shown to me. even though I knew my parents loved me.
Right. So your parents didn't do you that way, the way you're doing your children, but you knew that they loved you without all
Yes.
that emotional stuff and without
Yes.
saying, I love you. You knew that they love you, right?
Yes.
They love you. So why not raise your kids in the same way?
Because sometimes I think it needs to be heard, and
Oh.
sometimes you need to say the words.
Have you ever asked your kids as adults, do I need to say this to you? Do you need to hear that I love you?
Well, my daughter, who is my oldest child, is the one who told me, because
That's amazing. He would leave his phone.
yeah, my daughter, who's my oldest child, I didn't show her as much, and she's the one who told me that she missed that.
Oh.
And so since then, she told me that, you know, she needed that affection and she wanted to hear me say it. So then with the other kids under her, I always made sure I said it
That's
and
amazing.
let them know.
Joe, you had your hand. What do you say about all this?
Well, my hand was raised for the other question.
Oh, for that.
Yeah.
The
So we
exercise.
can go back to that, yeah.
Oh, okay. What do you think about what your mother just said?
She's being honest. That's how
Right.
she felt that she needed to do, or how she needed to go about it.
Right. And what do you think?
I think there is a point, and we've had this conversation, that it can be too much when you don't know, or when you've been, or you feel like you want to give somebody what you thought you didn't have. And there's been times where I felt like, okay, I don't want it this much. I need to breathe. But I think
breathe.
I think that just has
Hands
to go
up, I
with.
can't breathe.
Yeah. I think that just has to go with not having the balance of a father and the mother, though. So
Yeah.
then you get all mother all the time, then it's just something. Sometimes you need something a little bit harder, and that
Right.
wasn't always the case.
So you want your mother to back off with her love?
She she does, but I think she just the way she is. That's just how she is, and she doesn't really. That's what she's always felt that she needs to do and how she needs to do it, and she just went about it that way.
And have you told her that that's not what she needs to do?
We've had talks.
And you told her not to do it?
That it could be too much. Yeah.
Did you tell her not to do it?
I don't know if I told her not to do it, but I don't think I told her not to do it. No.
And why not?
Because I mainly just needed more. I don't want her to think that she needs to stop doing anything. I just needed to know that there should be a balance involved, because it was always just too much. So I didn't say don't give it at all. It was more just like, okay, it's too much. You know what I mean? Instead of like, okay, let me just cut it off, or whatever the case is.
So you need a mother's love sometimes? A mother's love is so special. A mother's love stays
That's a good
with you
question.
until the day you die.
That's
You
a
heard
good
that song? A mother's love is so special. So what did you say just now?
I can't answer the question.
You need it sometimes?
No, I don't think, no.
So you do want her to cut it out?
I don't want her to stop doing what she does, what a mom does, but I just think it should be in balance.
What does it mean? She doesn't know how to balance it.
Well, I don't want to say
Are
like,
you
stop
gonna let her
loving me,
know
mom.
when the balance days are there or something?
I just don't want to say stop loving me, mom, or whatever the case
But she's
is.
not going to stop loving you. She's going to stop mothering you with mother's
Well, yeah,
love.
I told her that. Yes, I've told her that.
You want to
don't
cut that
have
out?
to. Yeah, you don't have to do it so much, because it's not necessary.
And why not?
Because then I can grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that you find a lot of men so weak with women is because of that mother love. Is a mother body-to-body love. And what happens is mothers, when they are little girls, their mothers did that to them most of the time. It comes from that. And if you notice, when girls and boys are small, they don't want you kissing on them and pulling on them. They try to beat you off, right? But then the mother keep doing it, And then after a while, the girl or the boy start to resent it, and now they need it because they feel guilty. So they let mama do it because they feel guilty now to say no, stop. And once they feel guilty, then they grow up looking for body-to-body love too. And they don't really need it, but the guilt now that they have for their mothers, they resent her, and now the need is there because you become attracted to what you hate. And so a lot of these men, these boys, they grow up to be men, but they're still out there looking for mama's love from these women, and these women are looking for men. They need a real man, but they get in a boy that need a mother's love. And so a lot of mothers don't realize that that's what they're doing to their sons and daughters, really, because daughters are not supposed to be yearning for that either. And so that's why it's even hard for your son. How old are you, boy?
25.
He's 25 years old. He should just say, Ma, back off. I don't want it. Cut it out.
He does.
And don't do it anymore. But he doesn't want to hurt your feelings, so he won't be straight up, because that's that guilt that he has, because he need that body-to-body love, but he doesn't want it now because he knows that it's not good. But he hates to hurt your feelings about it. That's why he won't just cut you off with it.
I think when you're a single mom, like I raised all my kids as a single mom, you try to make up for the loss of their dad.
That's so
you
true.
give them more than what you probably normally would.
Yep.
You know, but you do need them sometimes, like him. We've had those conversations where they need to tell you to back off.
That's right.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is absolutely, and you're absolutely right. Most of the time, not all the time, not all, it comes from single mothers. They got it bad because they are trying to compensate for what is lost, not having that father there to balance, as he was saying. And I want to encourage the mothers today to cut that out now. You're destroying your boys and girls. You're weakening them. You're making them yearn for you rather than yearn for God. You know, you're causing them to depend on you or people who look like you rather than growing up becoming independent men and women. You know, they're always looking for love. And in today's society, because not everybody, most people are so traumatized and they're all looking for love. You know, that's why they have sex before marriage. They end up with bad people because they're looking for that mama's love rather than overcoming that, so they don't need that. Our love should come from God and God only. There's this orderly life of God and Christ, Christ and man, man over woman and woman over children. It comes down like that, but if the Father's not there, there is no God love. It's mama's love, and it's destructive. Yeah, so cut it out, mothers. And then stop. You were married at one point, right? Is that right?
Well, we never got married.
Oh, yeah. One of these days, we're going to work on encouraging men and women to stop having children before marriage because it creates so much problem. You need the man and the woman. That's why God created the man and the woman to raise the family. And someone asked, what's the role of a mother? The role of a mother is to love her husband, and the role of the man is to love Christ. And when that happens, then the love that's going through the mother is the love of God. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman. And it's the love of God that's being passed down to the children and not the love of mama, because that love is in the fallen state and it's very destructive. You need the love of God to be passed down, not the love of human beings. Because it's not real love. It's not real love at all. It destroys. Have you seen any of his girlfriends? Have you seen him around any of his women?
He's never brought a lot of women around the house. Maybe a couple.
Yeah, does he act like a little boy with them? Yeah.
When they were around, no, but he doesn't bring them around the house. You know.
All right. Yeah, if he does, let me know. Okay, let's do this. I got so many people want to get involved. Over here first, and then we'll sweep the room.
You kind of answered the question, but I was going to say I could totally relate to what Joel is saying. And I've heard you say the term body to body, but it's so apparent now what you mean by that.
Yeah.
I had a problem with my mom that she was treating my son the same way, just trying to smother him to the point where after I told her about it, we didn't talk for probably 2 months. And she's like, I'm going to do it regardless. This is, you know, this is.
Gonna
So-
make you have this love.
Yeah, it's it's straightened out now, but but she was just extreme with it. And he didn't like, he was complaining about it. It didn't matter to her. That was just what she was going to do because I guess that's how she perceived love. So
Yeah, and based on what you have said, Satan has convinced women with children, and some without children, that you better love your kids. Even when the kids say, no, I don't want it, you love them anyway. And if they don't want it, you make them take it. If they start crying, you tell them to shut up and take this love. Mama just love you. And the mother doesn't realize that's the love of her father, the devil. She believes that it's God's love because it's so emotional and it feels so good to be getting that love back. When the kids give it back, she's like, oh, God, this is better than God. This is good. My kids love me. But the kids really hate their parents. They don't love them. That's why they can't speak up, because they don't love. The love of God working through you allows you to tell the truth, love your fellow man, be honest, whether it's your parents or the cat or the dog. You just tell the truth. And you don't have the hatred in your heart. So mothers, cut that out today. No more love. So leave that boy alone. He don't want no more love.
I don't smother him that much.
That much? Not at all. He grown. Did I see your hand?
We did.
Okay.
You pretty much answered it, at least to some degree. You said that, like, little kids will tell, drop me
Yeah.
off right here, Mom. I'll walk to school. They'll do that type of stuff. It's like 6, 7, 8 years old, they start doing that.
Yeah.
But one thing I kind of realized is, especially with single moms, is that they raise their boys to be just like the guy they can't stand.
Yeah.
Basically, what most girls do not like nice guys. They like the jerk type of guy, really.
The Charles Manson type.
And they raise these young men to be so sweet and nice and kind, and they don't even like those type of guys. And that's kind of interesting to me.
And what's interesting too, and this is so good, I appreciate you saying something that reminded me of something. I said, why are you doing that to him? I want to give him love so he can learn how to, or know how to love his wife. That doesn't work. Wives hate men like that. The women that get in that mother's love from a man hate that man because it's weakness. He can't guide her because he's now trying to satisfy her. He needs her because he's giving it to her and hope that he can get mother's love back. And a man is supposed to be guided by, and a woman too, they're supposed to be guided by what is right. Not what they think, nor what they feel, but what is right. That's why you have to return to the Father so that you can see and live what is right. You don't need mama's love. And I know this because my grandmother, she used to give me a lot of love, grandma love, you know. And I was so weak to that. And then when I realized what it was, I was like, oh my God, I gotta stay away from her. Because every woman I got involved with was just like grandma, trying to give me love, and I'm trying to get love. But now that I forgave them and God forgave me, he took that away, and now my love comes from above. And so I give it out. I don't need the love. I don't feel like I'm missing love because I have my creative love in me. And he's in all of us, and we have to return to that. So cut out the loving. It ain't love. It's all ego. It's trying to feel good and make something or somebody make you feel good. All right? It ain't love at all. And that's why our mama's love is so special. It's something that you can't survive. Because it's not God's love. It's not her father's love. It's her father's state love that came from her mother. All right? Yes, James.
Andrea is asking, is it true that a mother should give her son the same respect, submission, that she does for her father and her husband once the son grows up?
Yes. Not only her son, but her daughter too. You treat them both with real love. And then the daughter won't grow up looking for love, feel like something's missing, and end up getting it all messed up by these crazy, weak guys. They won't be taken advantage of. In the good old days, there was this thing where, men and women just didn't go out looking for love. They would even date. I remember I used to date, right, in Alabama. And I had to, when I would go see the girl that I was dating, I had to ride a horse over there. Anybody ever rode a horse on a date? And so it would be so dark. It would be so dark on the road coming back, because I would go in the daytime. And when I come back, it was dark. It would be so dark, I had to trust the horse to just find his way home. And he knew how to get back to the barn. And the barn right across the road from the house. But the point is, when I went to date, we were not even allowed to close the bedroom door, the room that we were sitting in dating, and the parent would be right outside the door. We were not allowed to do any of that. We dated each other, and sometimes we sneak out and do it anyway, but we were not allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying? Parents didn't allow that. They watched that. They want the guy and the girl to get to know each other without all that. Even the first kiss. I met with a woman the other day, and she told me that the first kiss that a girl get from a guy, that the girl received from the guy, is a kiss of marriage. That first kiss is like she's hooked to that guy. This is her husband. Isn't that something? And I never thought of it that way, but that is so true, because the adults used to tell us, don't be kissing, because the moment you kiss it, it's going to lead to something else. And I never thought of the first kiss when a woman kisses a man, that first kiss is a marriage, because that's how God has it set up. And that's why you should only have one man, one husband, one wife, because of that spiritual unity or uniting that happens, that takes place. Isn't that something? So, Joel, don't be kissing anymore until you get married. Stay away from the kissing. All right. Did I answer the question? Okay. So here's what the problem is. Most human beings are in a fallen state and they don't know it. The preachers are not telling them. The experts are not going to tell you, because they need to make money and they need you coming back for counseling. The men and women are in this fallen state, and this love thing is being pushed, being promoted as good by the experts. And if you really look at your life, it's destructive. It doesn't work. Just think, you don't have to tell me today, but just think about the men that you've been with over a lifetime. They were all weak. And just think, ladies, how you tried to get them love thinking that's going to do it. It doesn't work, because it's not real. It's a lie. It's an illusion. It's a false love. That's why everybody's so messed up. This false love is killing them. It really is. God's love gives us life, not death. And if you're not getting life, you're dying. All right? Did you have your hand? Yes, sir.
Just wanted to say to Joelle's mom, it's very refreshing to hear someone take it so well. You can tell she wants what's right.
Yeah.
And she accepts it all immediately. And I think it's encouraging to anyone watching Mother's Day, people thinking about their mom and maybe, I don't want to tell her because they're afraid. Tell her. Don't judge her. She wants what's right.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That is so true. Especially once you forgive them, you're now doing it with love. You're not trying to hurt them. You're not trying to attack them. You're just telling them the truth. And I would even recommend that you let your daughter know that, you know what, don't be wanting my love. I should have never traumatized you like that. We're supposed, as parents, we're supposed to be a living example. We're not supposed to will ourselves upon our children. We're supposed to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, and then He'll dwell in us, and then His love will, and we will become a living example. A living example. And so when the kids look at the parents, they see the light of God in the parents, and that's what keeps them on track. But if you're in a fallen state, that light is going out, they see darkness, and that kills them. We don't own the kids. We're just God just borrowed us for a minute, a way to get them here. But he want us to he want us to let his light shine through us so the kids can love too. Because what God is doing, he's trying to create love through us. And Satan is creating love too, which leads to destruction. God's love leads to life, everlasting life. So the only reason we are here, I hear people say, oh, I can't find my purpose. What's my purpose? I know I'm here for a reason. What's my purpose? And they spend thousands of dollars talking to the counselor trying to find their purpose. Your purpose is to allow God to create love through you. That's all it is. So you can lay down the ego, it ain't no big deal. It's just, he want to create love through us to one another. That's why the greatest commandment is that, the second greatest, is to love your neighbor as yourself or something. With all your heart, soul, and might, love your enemy. He's trying to create love, but the love that the mothers are giving is hate. That's why everything ends up in destruction. All right? Yes, ma'am. Oh, and then I come here to you.
Oh, actually, his hands was up before mine. I'm willing to let him go.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not coming back to you anymore.
Okay, no.
No.
That's the mother's love.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but he was up before me.
Yeah, a whole lot of folks are up for you.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. That's mother's love for you. Now she missed her opportunity. We would never know what she wanted to tell us. And it might have been from God.
Oh, yeah. Can you come back to me later?
No. Yes.
Thank you, Auntie. Now, can you explain real quick why a man separated from a woman, right? And then the kid goes to the woman for a while, the mother, and then he goes to the father, and they think that's all right. The world does. That's about the same as marriage. You're getting both the father and the mother. The kid's just going between one and the other.
It's blind leaders of the blind. That's why we're not supposed to go to the courts to get their advice. They make bad decisions for us. We're supposed to see the right thing to do and do it. The courts are of the world, and they're never going to unite the family. They're going to keep them divided. And that's their job because they're of the world. That's why we're supposed to work things out amongst each other rather than taking each other to court and all that kind of stuff. Fathers and mothers, if they should break up, should work that out without having to go to court. And then the right decision would be made. Because sometimes if you break up with your husband, you don't necessarily have to leave, separate from the house. Sleep in separate rooms if you don't want to be together, but because it's for the children now, no longer for the mother or the father. They're there so the kids can always see that example. And so sometimes if you make that decision, you might not have to move out. You'll make a better decision than the courts will ever make about the family. I need you to read this for me. This is Proverbs. This is about the perfect wife. The perfect wife, and this is Proverbs 31:10.
The truly capable woman, who can find her? She is far beyond the price of pearls. Her husband's heart has confidence in her. From her he will derive no little profit. Advantage and not hurt she brings him all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax. She does her work with eager hands. She is like those merchant vessels bringing her food from far away. She gets up while it is still dark, giving her household their food, giving orders to her servant girls. She sets her mind on a field, then she buys it. With what her hands have earned, she plants a vineyard. She puts her back into her work and shows how strong her arms can be. She knows that her affairs are going well. Her lamp does not go out at night. She sets her hands to the distaff. Her fingers grasp the spindle. She holds out her hands to the poor. She opens her arms to the needy. Snow may come. She has no fears for her household, with all her servants warmly clothed. She makes her own quilts. She is dressed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gates, taking his seat among the elders of the land. She weaves materials and sells them. She supplies the merchant with sashes. She is clothed in strength and dignity. She can laugh at the day to come. When she opens her mouth, she does so wisely. On her tongue is kindly instruction. She keeps good watch on the conduct of her household, no bread of idleness for her. Her children stand up and proclaim her blessed. Her husband, too, sings her praises. Many women have done admirable things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty empty. The woman who fears Yahweh is the one to praise. Give her a share in what her hands have worked for, and let her works tell her praises at the city gates.
So that's the role of a woman, of a mother. And we got to somehow or another return back to that. And it's not going to happen until we can get the order of the family right. Men and women got to get married, stay together, and raise your family. Become an example for them by being that. You don't have to tell them what to do, because when you be what they should become, they naturally become that way when you are that way. And when you look around now, you can, and my heart breaks for women because men are desperately weak. They really are. And if the men are weak, then the woman doesn't have a chance. You can look at society today, and for the most part, you don't see healthy looking, alive people. You see dead people. You see dead people walking. And let's look at them. Look how the girls dress today. They have these little tight things that they wear with just that. And all these are signs of not having good mothers in the home, good fathers. And I remember when women used to be classy. You know, men would look for a certain kind of woman to marry to be the mother of his children. And what he looked for was a decent, classy woman that he could not get in bed while dating. But nowadays, they can't find that, because these women will jump in bed with you before they'll do it at the club now, I'm hearing. They go in the bathroom and just right there at the club. Isn't that true? Isn't that right? I can't hear you. Yeah. Oh, get him the mic so the world will know I'm not making this up. I'm not going to ask you if you've done it in the bathroom or anything. But isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah, because these women are looking for, they want to be good wives, they want to be good mothers, but they need a good husband for that to happen. And I feel for the ladies today, because if the Christ is weak, then the rest will be weak. And women need men. So here's what I suggest, mothers, especially those who are not married. As of this day, no more sex out of wedlock. If you want a good man, no sex. And teach your daughters the same thing by being that way. Even if you've already had kids out of wedlock, you can change just like that. And then the right kind of love will be passed down to your children, and then they would change the next generation. They will start doing it the right way. You won't ever have to worry about them. But you got to cut the sex stuff out. Sex is not love. It is so destructive that it's amazing, if not done in the right way, under the umbrella of a marriage. And then for the women who already have children, don't get married until your kids are gone. And become a good example. Go to God, let your anger go, and become the light for your kids. And don't get married. Stay away until afterward, because that's not the way it's going to work. It doesn't work. Step parents don't work. I was talking to somebody online yesterday, and I said, because she believed, or it was a guy, right, James? He believed that step parents are real parents, or something like crazy. And I said, replacing a natural father with or step parent. Replacing the natural parent with a step parent is like replacing the true God with the false God. It doesn't work. You know how Satan is most people's gods? And it doesn't work, because Satan has taken the place of the true God, and it does not work. So that's what happens when kids have step parents. They have a false God. and it's not going to work. So let's try to get everything back to order. I really wish the mothers well. I wish you a happy Mother's Day today. But I really want to encourage you to get over all this stuff, become decent women again. And don't give in to the weak men, because you're not going to be happy with them. And sex ain't love. All right? And even when you get married, ladies, when you have sex, and pardon me for putting it this way, just do the bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, and go your way. It ain't love. You know what I mean? Don't wish at one another. Don't take all day. It's just trash. It's not love. It's just an ego good feeling. And it's killing you. It's not giving you life, really. So go back to the good old days and just, when you're married, do it and go your way. All right? All right, happy Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day, everybody here. I hope this helped a little bit. Oh, let me do this. I got to make some announcement. The book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. You're going to love it. It's a must read. We also need your support, your tithe and offering. We got a lot to do, and we definitely need your support. You can call 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND to make a donation, or do it online, rebuildingtheman.com/church. And I think that's it. Anything? Oh, we have Father's Day coming up. What?
Father's Day merchandise.
What? Oh, come and tell them. Come and tell them. Get on the mic.
Jesse's TV show, Fallen State. Is everybody aware of the show? We've got T-shirts, we got mugs, and everything we get from the sale of those things goes back into the organization, into producing more shows. So, are we selling what we have in stock, Kelly? Yeah. Okay, so we have some in stock today. You guys
also, we have at our Fatherhood and Men's Conference on the 17th of June. Am I right?
Yes.
At what time?
5 p.m.
At 5 p.m. And if you would like to sponsor a guy, you know, for the event, please do. We're looking for, because some of these guys can't afford it, and so we're trying to raise money for it. But if you'd like to sponsor someone, please help us out, you know, and tell all the young men, it's 13 and up about this, all right? Those conferences are excellent, and this is our 8th one. So help us out, help us to help others. And thank you again, and thank you all for coming. Happy Mother's Day. All right.